I hate toxic positivity. It's beyond annoying and counterproductive, especially when it's used solely to shut up valid criticism of something. As just a foundational belief I want to convey and hopefully convince most of you of, is that compliance does not lead to change. You can't pay for a bad product and expect a company to make it good. Just go to the store and imagine buying the worst products there and expecting it to get better the more you buy. That's stupid. Obviously, not buying the product and making your opinion known is the only logical way to improve it. This isn't even arguable. I don't care what your shill opinion is or bootlicking argument you may have. Not buying a product and letting your criticism be known will be more productive than buying the product. Consider it economic terrorism or just being a hateful chud, but this is fact. I don't know what causes the desire for someone to push toxic positivity, but my best guess is that it's a normal fag's inherent desire for normalcy, or at least what they have been told is normal. So whenever the status quo is ever challenged, they feel a subconscious mechanism telling them to defend it. Perhaps they feel it a personal attack, or maybe it's purely a desire to protect the status quo. Whatever the reason is, these adamant defenders of the status quo often do mental gymnastics or jump to whatever they perceive as the simplest answer as to why you or anyone criticizing something is doing so. An example would be telling a fan of Call of Duty that gay pride flags in a World War II game is not only disrespectful to the soldiers in that war, but immersion breaking, only to be met with accusations of being homophobic. Instead of actually hearing anything you have to say, they will justify their positivity by any means they have to, if it means ignoring basic facts or outright lying about past events. Let me just explain to you some of the things I've seen and had said to me about two game series I care about. First is the Sonic series. Various times in the last few years I've spoken about the Sonic series, be it in my videos or online discussions. I've had toxic positivity used to shut down valid criticisms I and others have towards the series. It's hard to really convey just how annoying it is to even talk about this series without having some new fag tell me that I'm wrong. Here recently, there's a newfound revisionist history of these series regarding what Redditors are calling the meta era. For whatever reason, new fags seem convinced they can just lie about how these games were perceived when they came out. Unleashed seems to be the most recent mass revising these new fags have done. I don't mind Unleash. I like the game for the most part. I think it's a very pretty game, and the gameplay is acceptable. I think the story is kind of weird, and its story seems to contradict the new Ian Flynn canon of the emeralds being the batteries of the ancients, rather than artifacts created alongside the Sonic world. For years now, this game was poorly received. Critics scored the game low, and many players, especially longtime fans, had mixed feelings about the game. Again, I liked the game, but I don't pretend the game wasn't disliked when it came out. It's the same story with Sonic Colors and Generations. The consistent factor here is the mixed reception by longtime fans. People who played the games and enjoyed them, seeing the new games are not on the same level and so dislike them. Today, many toxically positive Sonic fans make the argument that this was just anti-Sonic bias in the media, which is really the only logical argument these people have, and comparatively rare for them to make since many new fags wouldn't even remember this or bother to learn about it. Generally, though, this is true going up to Sonic 06. The rivalry between Sega and the Devil's Spawn of the company was still ongoing in the late 90s. And come to 2000, Sega becoming a third-party developer was still new, having happened in 2001. Sega and Sonic were dealing with an inherent bias towards them in the media and critics, and this became worse with the rise of the internet and YouTubers. During this time period, Sonic was in a constant downward spiral as a series. This isn't even debatable. Anyone who was there can tell you this firsthand. In fact, I encourage anyone who saw this happening to say so in the comments. With every new release, Sonic was increasingly more and more of a failure in the eyes of the public, and come '06, any credibility the series had was gone. Sonic after '06 became the games to make fun of. During this time, even previous games that were universally liked became needlessly mocked online because of one really fucking bad game. Now, I think in hindsight, most of this was greatly over-exaggerated, especially in regards to the three Boost games of that time, if we exclude '06. Disregarding that, these games to the older, more knowledgeable fans were still mediocre, and that's my point in regards to the new games. They're just mediocre. But saying that will have a swarm of new fags telling you that your criticism is invalid because it's just you and you're just a negative chud. Frontiers is a almost empty sandbox with poor controls, soulless art direction, and an uninteresting story. Superstars is a mediocre platform with a cheap art direction, boring level design, and lack of content. Shadow Generations is the ultimate cope for the new fags. It's not a new game, but an expansion on Sonic Generations, an already boring as fuck game that had a rewrite that's just as annoying as the rest of Ian Flynn's writing combined with a few scenes changed for political reasons. The Shadow Generations expansion not only doesn't vindicate the new fags, but proves the constant argument original fans make of the series being stuck in the past. Shadow Generations is just a retelling of Shadow's story with light, and I mean light elaboration on Gerald Robotnik and Maria. There's no real new content here. It's just the same shit I can play on the GameCube, but all the soul gone. Second, we have Fallout. This one, there isn't even an argument where it becomes nothing but opinions. The Fallout show is a retconning narrative piece of shit written by AI and made for stupid fucking new fags that don't actually care about the series. People who at best played Fallout 4 or watch videos about the series. New fags who don't actually like the games, who like the fucking trend and invade spaces they aren't welcome in. If you want a comprehensive breakdown of how contrived and bad the show is, I recommend these videos that talk about it in detail. Warning, one of them is a tranny. The toxic positivity surrounding this show is so annoying because it is so unfounded and willfully ignorant of the series it's defending. Most criticism of the show is unironically met with "my New Vegas elitists," not realizing why such elitists exist in the first place. For almost 2 decades now, Bethesda has done everything to undermine the Interplay games and New Vegas for no other reason other than being incapable of making an experience even slightly close to the experiences of those games and their stories. Everything Bethesda has made in Fallout is a hollow imitation that exists only on retcons and corporate greed. This is objective fact, and if you disagree, you don't get to have an opinion on Fallout. The show is an unfunny and incompetently made show that has numerous retcons, from Shady Shands being moved to where the Boneyard is supposed to be, then being nuked the year that the events that lead to Fallout New Vegas take place, and NPCs in that game specifying that Shady Shands is still standing, to ghouls now being walking tanks that don't need food or water to suddenly needing food and water, and a new drug to prevent them from going feral. The retcons go as far as Vault-Tec being the ones who started the Great War, and even Robert House being a part of it despite his entire reason for being alive in New Vegas was to protect it from the Great War. Then we get into the characters. Every actual Fallout fan, not some new fag, has said it. But the ghoul is the only good character. Lucy is an annoying dumb bitch. Maximus is an evil backstabbing nog that's supposed to be the hero. The Enclave guy, which I think is named Winston, is fucking dead most of the show and has no elaboration as to why the Enclave still exists in the West Coast or at all. Moldaver, or whatever the fuck her name is supposed to be the villain, but in the last episode of the first season, she's actually the good guy trying to stop those evil capitalists from having cold fusion. The show is lazy and unfunny haha sex poop joke humor, and the message of the show is "my capitalism is bad." You're not allowed to say this though, because new fags genuinely suggest you're not a fan if you criticize the show. Saying things such as you just want the series to die off, or that you're unironically just a bigot. Most often though, they'll say that you're just nitpicking, but these are glaring flaws. These people don't know what they're talking about, hence why I call them new fags. If they did, they'd be willing to call out these blatant, inconsistent lore in a series where the most important part is the story and lore. They'd be willing to point out the bad writing. No, they'd rather dilute every single niche in entertainment until it's one congealed mass of mediocrity sprinkled with overt political messaging funded by international bankers. Gatekeep your hobbies, call all new fags. God bless the Enclave.
We're going to build a better America with the Enclave. We're going to build a stronger America with the American wasteland. We're going to be great again, I promised. On the West Coast, in the California wasteland, we're going to build back better. Let's be honest, it was a shithole before. We're going to build it even better. Get rid of the brotherhood. You're not Americans anymore. You have to go. No more brotherhood of steel. You're all just apparently religious zealots now that worship technology. You have to go. No more of that. We're all Luddites here, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to expand into the Mojave. We're going to take the Helios 1 solar plant, and we're going to use that to power ourselves until we can repair the Vuva Dam. Then we're going to march east into the Kaiser's Legion, and we're going to kill the Kaiser. You're fake. You're a fake emperor. You're not real. I'm the emperor, okay? I am the emperor, not you. And after that, we're going to march east into Washington, D.C. We're going to retake the capital wasteland. We're going to get rid of that East Coast brotherhood. You're fake Americans. You're not real Americans. You have to go. No more you. No more brotherhood. We're going to retake the capital wasteland and make it the crown jewel of the American wasteland. We're going to reclaim D.C. Then we're going to march into New England. The thing with New England is that New England's inhabited by communists, hardcore communists. And the only way you can fix a communist is by killing him. You can't fix a communist. You have to kill him. There's no way to coexist. They're like a rabid beast. You have to put them down. So you have to kill the communists. So what we're going to do, we're going to kill all the communists in New England. And after that, we're going to kill all the Minutemen too, because you're fake Americans. You're not real Americans. You're fake Americans. You have to go. You have to go. And after that, we're going to march into the South and to the Dixie wasteland. We're going to reclaim it. We're going to make it even better by importing the bunch of Hispanics, Africans, and Muslim migrants. We're going to import a bunch of them to ethnic replace everybody there. It's going to be great. We're going to make it great again. Then we're going to march north to Canada. We're going to do everything there that we did here. After all that's said and done, we're going to send all of our caps we generated doing that to Israel to ensure that they survive in the Israeli wasteland. God bless the Enclave.